It all started without a sound, just a weird, unsettling silence that fell over everything. The birds stopped singing, the usual city noise just vanished. Then we saw them, giant ships like mountains made of smooth, dark metal, just hanging there in the sky. They didn't look like anything we had ever imagined. They were impossibly big, blocking out the sun and casting the whole world into a strange, cold twilight. Nobody knew what to do. We just stood there, staring up at these impossible things that had appeared from the deepest, darkest parts of space. Then the lights came. Not like normal lights, but blinding, pulsing beams of colors we didn't have names for. A low, guttural language. Clicks and deep groans that made your teeth ache. It wasn't a language meant for human ears. It was a warning. It was the sound of the end. The fear hit us like a physical force. The first beam of energy hit downtown. The skyscraper just dissolved. It turned to dust and smoke, silently vanishing from the skyline. The beautiful, terrible lights were not for communication. They were weapons. London, Tokyo, New York, they all went dark. The aliens weren't invading to conquer, they were harvesting. They tore apart our world with cold, mechanical precision. The sky was no longer ours. The planet was no longer ours. In the hollowed-out shell of Chicago, life was a different kind of quiet. I was just a mechanic before all this. 19 years old, grease under my fingernails. I met Eli in the skeleton of a burnt-out library. He was older, his face a map of grief and exhaustion, but his eyes still had a spark. We didn't talk about it much, we just understood. Together, we became a team of two against an entire universe of wrong. Our days were spent scavenging, a dangerous game of hide-and-seek with the alien patrols. I collected tools, wires, batteries, solar panels, radio parts. Fixing things was the only part of my old life I had left. We found an old ham radio. It was my project, my obsession. Most of the time, there was nothing but hiss, but we had to know if anyone else was out there. A fragment of a song, a voice calling a name, echoes of a world that was gone, proof that others were trying. One night, something different came through the static. It was clear, deliberate. It was a woman's voice from a research outpost in Iceland, watching the ships, studying them. We sat frozen, barely breathing, huddled close to the speaker. It was real. The aliens weren't pilots. Their ships were like organisms, coordinated by a single source, like a swarm to its queen. The scientists discovered control based on sound, a complex web of sonic frequencies from central towers. They had found a way to disrupt it, a counter-frequency, a kill switch. Their transmitter was too weak to reach the main tower. Coordinates broadcast. The tower was in Greenland. It felt like the other side of the universe. It was an impossible journey, a suicide mission, but it was the only choice we had. The journey was a nightmare. We left the relative safety of our Chicago hideout. The land was a wasteland, scarred by harvest. We traveled by night, hid from drones by day. We crossed dried riverbeds and forests of gray trees that crumbled to dust. Every gust sounded like an approaching drone. We found a small boat on the coast of what used to be Maine. The ocean was a vast, terrifying emptiness. Ghost fleets in fog, icebergs drifting south. Eli, once a sailor, guided us with a steady hand. We were a tiny speck of defiance in an ocean of despair. Greenland was ice and silence. The alien tower, visible from miles away, obsidian and light-absorbing, it pulsed with a low, deep thrum through the frozen ground. Getting to it meant crevasses and shifting ice. The final hurdle, not drones, worse. Skittering, multi-limbed, metallic ground creatures. Eli lit a flare, drawing them away. He risked everything. I ran, lungs burning, the signal clenched in my gloved hand. I just had to get to the top. Climbing the tower was like climbing a frozen mountain in a hurricane of alien noise. The surface was slick, carved with strange patterns. My fingers numb, muscles screaming, but I kept going. I didn't look down. I couldn't. At the summit, a nexus of swirling colored light. The same from the first day. I plugged in the drive, initiated the program, and hit broadcast. A high-pitched shriek of digital pain. The clean signal tore through their network, a virus of hope. The low thrumming that had been the planet's heartbeat sputtered and died. High above, the lights flickered out. Formations broke. One by one, they turned and ascended into deep space. They were leaving until they were just distant stars, then nothing at all. I collapsed on the cold surface, tears freezing on my cheeks. We had won. Down on the ground, Eli was waiting. The static was different now. Faint at first, then stronger. Voices breaking through. A man in the Rockies, survivors in Australia, a lone operator in Africa. This is Maya in Greenland. Is anyone there?